Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another Java tutorial. And in this tutorial we are going to be learning about checkboxes. And basically a checkbox is a box that you can put a check in, obviously. And if you want to if you've ever filled out a form before, you've probably seen a checkbox. It'll say like, do you have kids or something, and it'll be a checkbox. And if you do, you put an X or a check, and if you don't, you just leave it blank. And that's what we're going to create here today. So let me finish getting my imports in. We're going to need 3 sets of imports. Alright, and you have to extends JPanel again. I mean, not panel, frame. Extends JFrame. Alright, I'm going to close these. Go down a couple. So we're going to need 2 JCheckBoxes. And checkbox. I'm gonna call one, I'm gonna call it show1, and the other one I'm called show2. Because what my checkbox is going to do is it's going to show a hidden label when you click it, and when you deselect it, it's going to hide that label again. So at first when you open the program, all you're going to see is 2 checkboxes, but when you click them, it's going to display text onto the screen. You'll see. And then we're going to need 2 J labels, so I'll make it easy and call it label 1 and label 2. Now make your constructor. Alright, and then we're gonna be using a grid layout. So it's nice and neat, and 2 rows and 2 columns. Because since we only have 4 items, just make it a nice square. And then label 1 is equal to new J label. And then we're going to make that label be invisible when it spawns. And add the label 1. And then label 2, and that's going to be also a new J label, empty. And add that to the screen. Alright, now show1, this is our checkbox, so show1 is equal to new JCheckBox, and inside what we put inside this parameter is what is going to appear next to the checkbox. So what we want to prompt the user what to do, or what the checkbox does. So we're going to say show first label. That's what is going to appear right next to the checkbox. And then add show1. Show2, same thing. And except I'll make it say show second label. Alright. And then make our event handling class, so event e equals new event. And by the way, you don't have to name this class event, but I just like to name it so I know what it does. You can name it whatever you want, but and then we're gonna add not an action listener, we're gonna add an item listener, like that. And for checkboxes you can't use action listener, you gotta use item listener. Alright. Now, go outside of the constructor here, down a couple lines, and do your public class event, which is going to implement item listener. And this is going to have our method called item state changed. And basically, this method is going to tell if we click the text box, or the checkbox, excuse me, what we should do. So, public event, public class event implements item listener. There we go. And then the method is, I think, let me see, public void item state changed, I think, and then item event e. See? Yep. Alright. How you can tell is the errors go away, and plus it says right here implements blah blah blah. So that's how you can tell if you got it right or not. Basically you just gotta either memorize them, or you can click this button here before and it would actually put it here, but anyways. So, we're gonna have a little bit of logic conditional operators in here. So, if show1 is selected, so that means if they pushed our show1 checkbox, that means it's toggled, so they pressed it, what do we want to do? Well, we want label 1, and we want to set the text to you pushed first checkbox. CB stands for checkbox, in my world, at least. So, else, this means they didn't, or they deselected it, so label 1, set text, and we'll set it back to nothing. And then go down a couple and start a whole new if statement, so if show 2 is selected, and then what do we want? We want to set label 2 to you pushed second CB. Else, that means either it's not selected or they deselected it. Label 2, set text, nothing. Just like that. So I think I'll go over this one more time before I write the main method pretty fast. So public class event implements the item listener. Remember, not action, item listener this time. And we have an item event, and our method is called item state change. So basically, an item is our checkbox, and the state is changed because they can either click it or unclick it, and it changes the state of it, either true or false. True if selected, false if unselected. That's how that logic works. And then if show 1, which remember is our checkbox, so if show 1 is selected, and that is a built-in Java function, I guess, and so all I gotta do is type in is selected and empty parameters. So if it is checked, then what do we want? Well, we want label 1 to say you pushed the first CB. Else, that means either they haven't pushed it yet or they deselected it. We're gonna set that label back to nothing. Invisible, I guess you'd call it. But it's still there. And then we just have a whole new one. Make sure you don't put else if here, it'll screw it up. You have to put a whole new if block. See, these are separate, so. And then we do the same thing for the second checkbox, so. Fairly simple, I think, to understand. Now we'll write our main method. Public void, public static. Oh my god, I can't even think. Public static void main string args. Yep, alright. Now, CB, whatever your class name is called, and just type whatever, let's call it GUI. The tutorial. And then I think I'm gonna do, don't really know, I'll do 300, 100, see how that works. And set visible, obviously, and if you want, you can give it a title. I'll call it checkbox program. Whoopsies. Alright, perfect. Now run this thing, make sure, I'm gonna validate the size before I show it. Alright, yep, size is good and it works, so have a grid layout, so the labels are here, but you can't see them right now. So, what do we want? We want to show the first label. Alright. You push the first CB, and you can click it again, and it goes away. Now you can show the second label. You push second CB, and push it, and it goes away. If we wanted, we can show them at the same time, or show one or the other, because these are independent of each other, so you can see. And I mean, there's really not much to learn here except what a checkbox is and how it functions. I mean, I think it's very easy to understand how it works, so. And you could have two checkboxes that, like, you push this one and maybe it makes this text italic, and you could have another one that modifies this label and makes it bold, perhaps, or something like that, or increases the font size. So that's just a little example of how you can use checkboxes to spice up your programs a little bit and add more functionality. So, hope to see you next time for my next video. I don't know what it's going to be on yet, but it's going to be good, so subscribe and you'll see the next one.